Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with the season finale of Tokyo Ghoul Route A. And yeah, basically last episode, everybody died. Fucking all of, like, you know, I mean, all of the pretty much important characters died. You know, not every important character, but essentially, you know, Shinohara, Amon, Yoshimura, they're all dead. So great. Amazing. That's what I want. You know, and obviously I can see why people are not kind of happy with this, with the story in this season, if that's obviously the way that it goes. You know, I think it's fine for like shows to have these kind of things where it's like, oh well, it could have gone a different route if certain things changed. You know, but I do find it like a weird time for them to do Route A. Like they did the first season, and then they did Route A, and then they moved back to the normal timeline. It's like you may as well, you might as well have done is made like, you know, season 1, season 2, season 3, right? And then just, you know, complete that main story or whatever the fuck, and then do the offshoots. Don't put them like right in the middle of each other, you know, because that just fucking confuses people. It's like the Monogatari series. It's like that is all over the fucking shop. I don't know where that fucking starts and when it doesn't, but yeah. But yeah, this is the fucking the finale of this, and then after that we're moving on to Re. So yeah, we're getting there. So yeah, we're just gonna move into episode 12 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's fucking go. Of course, you know, Tokyo Ghoul, it is, you know, filled with fucking copyright strikes all over the place, so I can't have the footage in the video. But if you have your own reference footage, you can watch the full length timer base along with me right now. I'll count down from 3, 2, 1. I'll say play. As soon as I say play, then you hit play as well, and you can watch this whole thing with me. So, episode 12, the finale of Tokyo Ghoul Route A. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. Back when it was more fucking peaceful. Yeah. Making coffee and shit. Back when he had black hair. And he was a pirate. Beautiful mother. Nishio's girlfriend. Are Irumi and Devil Ape still alive? I'm sure they were. I'm sure we left them alive, right? Last time we saw them. Yep, Yoshimura, who's now sitting at the bottom of the one-eyed owl's gullet. And Hideyoshi as well. You must say some like dream-like state. Clearly, like what it is, right? Yeah, they ain't there anymore. Yeah, he is. I was gonna say, like, he is there, right? I mean, he was there before. And he knows how to make a fucking cup of coffee. So this is the first time he's seen him, like, as a fucking, like, as a ghoul, right? I mean, you can't just put like all the pieces together, you know, and kind of new. But this is the first time he's seen him like that, right? He knew from the fucking from when he was brought in, right? Remember when he was like he was being cared for by Yoshimura and stuff, and he was, you know, they thought he was unconscious on the fucking on the bed or asleep, but he was listening. Alright, so you can brew a coffee, but it's shit. I think Kaneki knows how to handle the fact that he didn't know us about this. Oh, he knows back from then. So it's not that it was just like he got conscious again while he was on the bed. It was that he was playing dead, and he either saw or he heard everything that was happening. Okay. Just bodies everywhere. Oh, Gary's just up and gone. Yeah, he's gone. What? So he's not even dead. What? Come on, I at least think he should be dead, like, after that. But, you know. Next thing we'll know will be fucking, it'll be, like, Amon will be fucking alive. I doubt it, though. Where? Is this just his weapon? Where'd he go? What? Okay, so he's either alive and walking somewhere. I doubt it though. That's the Adam. Yeah, he always he always seemed like he was like out of the loop. That's why Hideyoshi's like my favorite character in this, because he just, you know what I mean, it's just the interesting one. What is this blood dripping all the time? It's Hideyoshi, innit? I thought it was fucking... I thought it. I thought it was. I thought it was thingy. It's not. I thought it was weird that he came away like all right. Oh, don't you dare! I've just announced him as my favorite character. Are you really gonna kill him off? I'm. Fuck's sake. Fucking. At least. I don't know. I don't even know if he'll be alive and ready to work, because I don't even know what the fuck though. I hope he is. Why is it red? Toga's been doing nothing these last few episodes. She's been wandering the empty streets. There's nothing there. Is she even in the right place? Why is the sky red? Why is it blood red? So it wasn't red. It was just like a visual thing, a visual cue, I guess, of like it being on fire or something, I guess. Oh man. Tear of blood. Huh? What? Just stop fucking around. Is he alive or is he not? Is he dead? I don't know. He went back to black hair. What the fuck happened? Where are we now? I am fuck. What is happening? I can't tell what's real and what isn't. Like, oh man. I don't know if like fucking the devil aped guy or Irami's alive. I don't. Meanwhile, Kaneki's just in there, fucking, when it's just raining, fucking. When he was saying let's go home, he's not talking about, like, dying together, is he? Oh my god, he's like carrying him out of the fucking flames. Why would you run next to it? Why not just go along the road? You don't have to run next to it to follow him, just go down the road. Is that our brother? Alright. Fucking hell. Kaneki got pretty far away. Hanami, maybe? Can't tell. No, it is just Kaneki, okay. Okay. To what? To Yoshimura asked so to what? Keep Kaneki away from or Toka away from Kaneki? What the what? I like how they're playing the fucking what is it? Unravel. Was that? He's just walking through the middle of it all. it's quite a like. I quite like the imagery actually of him like carrying Hideyoshi through like the middle of it all, because I'll talk about afterwards. And then immediately after the song ends, it's immediately back to just chaos. I'm just walking. Right. Okay. Oh, glimmer. It's a cup. I guess we're just going to see the aftermath of this battle then. Huh. Did they open up a new cafe? Ah. So is it on the same street or what? Okay, there we go. We are finished Route A. Okay, so I'll just go from the top because granted the last scenes or whatever is the most prominent. So Hide was there, and the whole time he was hurt. And I was thinking, okay, so I guess this is bloody, it's Kaneki that, no, it's not. It's Hide that's hurt. I still don't know like how he managed to even get away from those, from that guy, because he's pretty powerful. But yeah, I guess he managed to, but he got, he got injured in the process. Kaneki obviously couldn't handle the fact that he'd actually knows. It's like Kaneki almost seems a bit embarrassed, because of like who he is or whatever. Now, there's a sort of connection here that I find with Hide that I find pretty that I find like interesting, is the fact that like Hide said that he was playing dead that whole time. The first time, obviously, Nishio and Kaneki actually fought, right? Obviously, like Nishio knocked Hide like out, you know what I mean, and thought that was it. But that whole time, Hide was just playing dead, and he was conscious the whole time. So when Kaneki obviously was fighting Nishio, he saw that happen. Or at least heard it. But I like the fact that he's like, he said he's there playing dead, and then when he's obviously in the cafe there, at the end there, he's sort of playing like he's all right, until like it gets too much for him. Now it was jumping about a bit, like it was jumping about between like and there weren't obvious transitions. Like sorry, there were two obvious transitions, like way too much. It was way too obvious, like the fucking dead cuts. You know what I mean? Like it's all of a sudden about a bang, right? We're with Toka and she's in the cafe and whatnot. Now the cuts of Kaneki at the start of that, when it was like cutting in between, and Hideyoshi's like, oh shit, Hideyoshi's dead, and then Kaneki's like, all right, let's go home, and then Hideyoshi smiles, right? I'm like, is he dead or is he not? What is he? You know what I mean? I'm getting like confused. There's loads of this different stuff. The thing that I did get because of the end, because of the nature of the shot, Kaneki's black hair. And I'll go into that later because that's one of the last things I want to talk about. Anyway, yeah, Toka obviously ran after fucking Kaneki after he came out holding Hideyoshi. The build Noma's class on top of her. Ayato, I think it's Ayato, right? His brother, Toka's brother. Essentially saved her anyway. So yeah, there's that. The sky was blood red. I think that was just a visual cue. It was just basically that the whole thing was on fire, I think. I think that's what it was. That's why it appeared red. Aemon's body wasn't there. That was just the fucking... It was just the weapon. So I don't know... I don't know what happened there. I don't know where his body went. And I guess I'll never fucking know. Unless someone tells me, but I don't know. Right, so the black hair thing. I think what it was trying to say. So the guy who's got the white hair, who's in this on the CCG set, the guy who was fighting the owl in the last episode. He's Hoji, I guess. I'm pretty sure I've never seen him before. I can't remember seeing him at all. Maybe I did. I just can't remember it though. So like his sort of character isn't exactly like, I don't take to his character a lot because I feel like, you know, I don't know who he is. He just kind of showed up and apparently possibly killed Kaneki, and it's just like, okay, great. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know who he is. But I think what I took from that is throughout that whole episode, Kaneki's hair is changing to black, and I think the whole point of it was Kaneki changed once he had been overly tortured to the point where, like, to the point he changed. And I think the whole idea of him having black hair was back to a time when he was himself, you know? And I think for the first time, while his hair obviously wasn't turning black, it was obviously white the whole way through. I think what the show was trying to convey was that both sides have that like have that suffering, you know what I mean? Like, so if we're to assume that white-haired Kaneki is, like, you know, supposed to be considered like maybe ruthless, evil to some degree, of course we know that Kaneki isn't, but you know, I think having the contrast in that episode of him going back to black hair when he was, you know, more sort of human, he hadn't gone through all of the torture and torment, you know what I mean, he was just a nice lovely soul, you know, and peaceful and everything like that. And then at the very end you see Hoji and it's the same shot except it's his hair, and his hair obviously being white. I think it's purposely done that that his hair is black and white, because the whole thing about being black and white is it's not black and white, you know. I think there's an obvious juxtaposition there that it was trying to convey, like, you know, you've got black and white on both sides, so it's, you know, it's the idea that there is evil, like, you know, it's not just predominantly ghouls are evil and CCG are good, or the other way around. It's, you know, it's that on either side they both have wrong on each other's side, and you're not supposed to really, you know, to be on one side or the other. It's just like you're just fighting fire with fire and nothing's really changing because of it. I think that's what the shot of just the hair, like they kept having that same camera shot where, I say camera shot, like when it's, you know what I mean, because how else do you describe an animation? It's like, well, where the camera is, right? If it was filmed like live action, where the camera would be. But I guess when the scene, the drawings where it's animated of just the hair, and it's like with Kaneki, it's like, oh, but it's white, and then it's black, and then it's black again. And I think it's honestly that was my favorite scene in the whole show, was him carrying Hideyoshi through the aftermath, because it's a perfect sort of, it's a very like serene and like beautiful kind of contrast, you know what I mean, a very juxtaposition of, like, obviously, well, first of all, the fact that they brought the fucking Unravel song back. Obviously it was a more like beautiful version, and not like the heavy rock style one that was in the first opening. But, you know, I think having that there and having it so peaceful, you know what I mean, and having him just walk through it, it's like, it shows that, I think the point of it was, and I think this is the point of, I think the entire point of this season was to purposefully point out that everybody suffers regardless on either side. And I think, you know, it started with Amon and fucking and Kaneki, right, when they were fighting in the last episode. And they're saying, you know what I mean, what, you know what I mean, if only we weren't on separate sides, or you know, if only this wasn't the case, you know what I mean, because they clearly they like each other, right, and they know that neither of them are really doing any wrong. It's just because they found themselves on either side of the battle. It's kind of like what, like wars and stuff, right? When you look at like world wars and shit like that, like the people who are soldiers, who are on the front line and whatever, are just essentially doing the bidding of the two fucking, you know, like the two monarchs of the fucking, of who are pushing that fucking war forward. You know what I mean? So like Hitler and Churchill or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know what I mean? Each of those people who are on the front lines, all of them have families, all of them don't really want to be there. And they're just following orders and just, you know, firing at each other, not truly knowing what the very purpose of this is. They're fighting another man's war, essentially. Like, you know, and I feel like this was that was what this was. It was just I feel like that's what it was. Like, they were fighting because they were on separate sides, and that was it. You know what I mean? I mean, personally, I feel like that showdown between Kaneki and Amon could have just been literally talked out, but I don't know. Because I don't know how. I know like no one on Kaneki's side would have been all that bothered because he doesn't give a fuck anyway. But like the people on the CCG side probably would have given a fuck. It's like, what, you fucking, why are you messing around with it? You know what I mean? Because that's what the CCG is like. But I think that was the point of this show. I think, and especially when you keep getting shots of, you know, and I've pointed this out before, like, if I'm choosing, obviously, you know, that there's obviously, on both sides, you've got the, you know, the good and the bad and whatnot, right? But when I look at across the board, and you see, obviously, and obviously it's easy to be biased because you're following Antique, essentially, right? More than the CCG. But, you know, when I look at it, it's obvious to me that the CCG are the ones that are the more evil, that are geared towards the more evil side, because when I'm talking about how it's a, like, you know what I mean, they're fighting on either side, right? Amon and Kaneki, right? And they don't know why they're basically fighting just because they're on opposite sides. They actually like each other, you know. And then you've obviously got the higher ups guy, and you keep seeing like the camera shot to like the dude who's on top, who's not doing anything. He's just giving orders, telling people to go there and fight that, while he's just standing there doing fuck all, you know. And that's the thing, is like the Amon's fighting like for that, essentially, because that's just the way it is. And I don't know where the fuck his body went, but that's that. So yeah, I think that last scene was that's my favorite scene out of the whole, everything from even season 1 and everything, like him, Kaneki walking down through the aftermath with Hideyoshi in his arms, because, you know, that's fucking bullshit, man. Like, you know what I mean? I literally fucking pronounce like Hideyoshi. Yeah, Hideyoshi's my favorite character. I like him because he's interesting. He's literally the one that is different from everyone else. He's like in the middle of everything. You know what I mean? And he says, like, he's saying stuff like, I felt left out and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. It's almost like he's on his own, you know. But I've said, like, in previous ones, like, you know, I've said in like previous episodes, like very far back, that like he's the one that I find most interesting because he's the different one. He's the one that's the like sort of the outcast person, you know. Yeah, had to go say he's my favorite character, and he immediately dies in the next scene. Fuck's sake. But I mean, here's the thing, right? Obviously, Ree follows a different story, so it's I'm gonna guess he's still alive. I'm gonna guess most of them are still alive because I feel like this is a route. And I did ask, like I basically said, I imagine season 2 basically went down a route where Kaneki decided to join Oigiri Tree, right, for like the first few episodes or whatever it was, and that the real one, like the main story, the one that actually, you know, matters, is one where he doesn't do that. So I believe like it's a choice thing where obviously he got to this point, he chose to join Oigiri Tree. This set up like a whole bunch of different events, which eventually led to this whole all-out war in which everyone like died, in it, essentially, right? Although Shinohara apparently survived. Like, what? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, you just kill him off, because I mean, think about it. Like, I don't. You shouldn't even have kept him alive. Just kill him off. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's not going to get brought back for fucking Ree anyway, is it? Just kill him off. You know what I mean? You can afford to do that. It's fine. But no, I guess the one kept him alive. But yeah. So yeah, where was I? What was the fuck was I? What was I just talking about there? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I really like that last scene. You know, obviously as a bad a rap as this season gets, obviously I took a massive hiatus like in the middle of it, so like, you know, I'm a bit sort of trying to gather, like, remember everything that happened before, but I've got a good sense of what happened. The obviously when I went into this, I knew what it was about. I knew that it was just it was a route that didn't follow the main plot. I knew it was something completely different. So I never went in with it expecting, you know what I mean? I never took any sort of liberty to like I never focused like on the story or what like consequences that would have later down the line, because I knew that, you know, the end product would never, that was never the, you know, it would never affect the main plot. So I never really took all that much. I never prioritized the story in this season, but you know, but what I basically watched this for was so I could get a gauge on people, on, you know, characters and their, you know, and their quirks, so to speak, and the little niches things, the things that they do, kind of get a gauge. And so I've got a better understanding of what the characters are like and what they think going into Rei, because even though the things that have just happened in this season won't, like, you know what I mean, they're not going to have these kind of things, these like memories that they've gone through into that season, because something completely different happened. There's still a sort of you can still gauge on what people are kind of thinking, what the characters are thinking, and what they think about stuff. So I think even if, you know what I mean, I think the people that like are like, oh no, you might as well just skip it. Honestly, I'm glad I watched this, because I think, you know what I mean, it will give me sort of better insight to the next season, you know. So yeah, and also to get like a world building like thing, so I could get a gauge for other stuff involving the whole world that they live in. So yeah, so obviously Kaneki was nowhere to be seen there at the end. So I mean, I don't know if we're just to assume that he lost that fight. I guess. And obviously the new cafe on the same street, which is, I guess it's called Rei Cafe. I guess, like redone. I guess, is it on the same street? I thought it was. Yeah, and I still don't know if Arimi and fucking Devil Ape had survived. I don't know, because they never sort of went back to them, they were like, yeah, we got like the last thing we heard of them, like, yeah, fucking Kaneki saved her, and then that's it. Never saw them again. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe they kept fighting after that and just died. Because I did see them when he was walking through. Like I saw like the masks and whatnot, but that could have just been their followers. I don't know if it was actually them. Yeah. Well then, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. I think we're done with this season. So yeah, next week we shall get on to season 3 or Tokyo Ghoul Re, whatever it is, and see how that plays out. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to find, like, there's bound to be a YouTube video or something explaining everything that's happened between season 1 and Re. So I get the right sort of, so I can gauge what the characters have done, what's happened, what's happening between who and whatnot, and then, you know, so I'm ready to go into season 3 without being confused. So yeah, I was definitely happy with the with season 2. I think the animation was better, and the art from season 1. I liked the soundtrack a lot more. Obviously the opening for season 2 is bleh. Like for Root, that's just that's not good. But you know, aside from that, I like the ending. I like the ending music. But I mean, you're never going to be Unravel, really, are you? So they put that at the end of this episode, which is good. So yeah, I think, you know what I mean, I think what reacting to season 2 was actually sort of necessary for me. I think I think I've made the right choice in doing that and not skipping it completely. You know what I mean? But I'm happy with how it's sort of, I think there was a reason why they did it, why they made that season. I think it sort of sets the tone for what the show is. And that, you know, I think it lays it out on a plate a bit more. Whereas, you know, before in season 1, you know, and then like onwards in the main plot, you can probably like gauge for yourself, you know what I mean? If you're savvy enough to be able to, like, yeah, like, you know, why are they fighting for? Some of them like they're fighting because they're monsters, considered monsters. That's the only reason why they're fighting. And obviously the CCG, to them, ghouls are enemies. Therefore, they must fight each other, even if those people are like Kaneki, who doesn't want to fight and stuff like that. So I think what season 2 was about was mostly, and it's most obvious in the last 2 episodes, that's where it's mostly prominent, is that they're trying to kind of jam down your throat. Yeah, this is, it's kind of, you know what I mean, they're fighting a battle that, you know, they're fighting like the wrong battle. You know, it's not about them just fighting each other, because that never leads to anything good. You know what I mean? It showed that because it showed both sides suffering. You know, and it chose to show that, like, a lot and heavily. Like, you know what I mean? I think it did that on purpose. And I think that's what that season was meant to be about. Now that I think about it, maybe that's why they decided to put it after season 1. And not wait until after, because then it's pointless. I feel like maybe what they wanted to do was get everybody on the same page as to what it's about. Like, you know, to get everyone on the same page of what Tokyo Ghoul really is. And that's, you know, it's both sides that suffer. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I need to talk about, because I've been waffling on for too long now. But anyway, yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. In the description below I have links to a bunch of things, Discord being one of them. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that is where polls and things start for new shows and things. So get yourself over there. Also, if you just want to come talk to me at the community, you're free to do that as well. My PO box is in the description below, so if you do want to send me anything at all, you can do with that address down there. And finally, Patreon. So that's obviously the big one. Different tiers and, like, you know, different amount of tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So, you know, if you want to get early access, which is $5 a month, you can gain access to all the shows that I do a week early, and you actually get 2 more episodes per show that I do every single week. So obviously the general public get 2 episodes of all of the Patreon shows every week. If you're an early access patron, you get them a week early, and you get 4 across all of them. So you get 4 episodes of Psychopaths, 4 episodes of Suzumiya Haruhi, 4 episodes of Tokyo Ghoul, and 4 episodes of Code Geass every single week. That's 16 across the whole week, 64 episodes across the whole month, as opposed to the 32 that the general public get. So it's a good value for money for $5 a month. So if you're clamoring for more reactions from me, that's where you want to go. $10 a month, that is the full length. So if you do want to watch any of my reactions fully unedited, that goes for all the shows that I just mentioned, plus My Hero, Attack on Titan, ReZero. All of them have full length. So yeah, if you want that, it's $10 a month. That's where you want to go. $50 a month, that is exclusive tier. So for that, you get access to another show I'm currently doing, which is Parasite. That is over there while it's airing. It will get publicly uploaded to everybody once I've finished airing it, but as it's airing, it will be over there now. Also, all OVAs across all shows will be put into the exclusive tier, and when I start reacting to movies, which I might start very soon actually, because I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. When I start reacting to movies, those will be in exclusive as well. I think I might start with the live action of Bleach, since that's already up on Netflix, but we'll see. And yeah, that's it for exclusive tier. $50 a month, that is the elite tier. So for that, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, a choice of any show. The only rules are that it must be a show that's 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that I've never seen before. So yeah, that gives you a choice of the show. It'll go to the back of the queue, back of the list. I think there's about 7 in the backlog right now, so it might take me a while to get to it, but once I do, you will get that show reacted to. However, if you want to jump the queue and go to the very first, so that means that your show will be reacted to next, then you want to get the God tier, which is $100 a month. So that same rules apply. 150 episodes or less, it must be a show I've never seen before. And also on God and Elite tier, both of them are cumulative. So that means that, you know, my Patreon is set up per month. It's on a per monthly basis. So, you know, it's basically a monthly subscription kind of setup. You know, if you pay $100 for the first month, you know what I mean, to get your show like on the list, then the second month comes along. If you pay again, then you actually get another choice. So every time you pay, you get a choice of a show for God and Elite tier. Alright, so that's all. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll pick up with Tokyo Ghoul Re for patrons this Sunday, and for everybody else, the general public, next week on Wednesday. So look forward to that. Again, it will be like full length timer based. You know what I mean? If I could do it any other way, I would. I just, you know what I mean? It's the only way I can do it, just because the fucking copyright issues and stuff with Tokyo Ghoul, it's a bitch. So yeah, but that is all. So thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye.